The time is 5:23 p.m. local time. High above the Red Sea, we're in the cockpit of a U.S. Air Force F-16 Fighting Falcon from the 421st Fighter Squadron, the renowned Black Widows. Below, the strategic Bab el-Mandeb Strait churns with the passage of global commerce. The pilot's mission is combat air patrol, providing high-altitude cover, a protective shield for a U.S. naval task force navigating the tense waters along the Yemeni coast. For hours, the patrol has been a picture of routine calm. The sky is a vast, empty canvas of serene blue. But in the unforgiving world of modern air, serenity is a fleeting luxury. In the next few seconds, everything is about to change. Without any warning, a plume of smoke erupts from the desolate coastline below. A Houthi-controlled battery near Hodeidah has just launched a surface-to-air missile. It's an SA-6, known by its NATO designation as the Gainful. A Soviet-era relic, yes, but in the right hands, still incredibly deadly. With a maximum range of 15 miles and a velocity exceeding Mach 2.8, it rockets towards the F-16, closing the distance with terrifying speed. In the cockpit, the radar warning receiver screams to life a symphony of digital dread. The pilot has barely 10 seconds to react. 10 seconds. A lifetime and no time at all. This is the ultimate test of man and machine. Fortunately, this F-16 is no ordinary fighter. It's equipped with a state-of-the-art AN/APG-83 Sabre radar in its nose cone. Sabre stands for Scalable Agile Beam Radar, an AESA system that acts as the jet's superhuman eyes and ears. The moment the enemy launch is detected at a distance of 26 miles, the pilot's training takes over. He shoves the stick forward, sending the F-16 into a gut-wrenching dive, plummeting from 30,000 feet to just 15,000. He's not just running, he's executing a calculated maneuver to break the missile's firing solution. The SA-6 is a semi-active missile. It needs its ground-based radar to constantly illuminate the F-16, painting it with energy so the missile seeker can follow the reflection. By diving sharply and changing his geometry relative to the radar, the pilot is trying to make his jet disappear from the enemy's line of sight. At over 1,000 miles per hour, this first defensive act isn't enough to deter the adversary. The Houthi battery unleashes a salvo multiple SA-6 missiles now streak towards the sky. This is a classic saturation tactic. Overwhelm the target's defenses by forcing it to deal with multiple threats at once. The pilot wrenches the F-16 into a series of punishing high G turns, the force pressing him deep into his seat. He's trying to complicate the enemy radar's tracking problem, but at a 60-degree offset angle, the effectiveness of his own APG-83 radar drops to just 47%. He's partially blind. This is the precise moment the Pylon Integrated Dispensing System, or PIDS, enters the fight. Bolted beneath each wing, these 42-pound pods spring into action, releasing a brilliant shower of 12 MJU-50B flares to decoy heat-seeking threats, and a dense cloud of 24 RR-180 chaff Paxtony metallic fibers designed to create a massive, false radar target. A half-kilometer-wide ghost of countermeasures now hangs in the air. The decoys work, confusing several of the incoming missiles, which veer off into empty sky. But the pilot has one last card to play. He activates the ALQ-184 electronic jamming pod mounted under the F-16's belly. This isn't just noise, it's electronic warfare at its most sophisticated. Using DR-FM digital radio frequency Memoretha pod, records the incoming signal from the SA-6's guidance radar, manipulates it, and sends back a stream of false, distorted echoes. It's like shouting 1,000 confusing lies back at the missile, scrambling its electronic brain. The jammer, covering a frequency range from 2 to 20 gigahertz, specifically targets the SA-6's 6 to 8 gigahertz radar, slashing its accuracy by a staggering 70%. The warheads, now blind and deaf, go ballistic. They become unguided rockets. And every single one misses its target. Against all odds, the F-16 emerges unscathed. The theater of conflict shifts. 100 miles away, an MQ-9 Reaper Drive 1 takes off from the Chabeli airfield in Djibouti. It's on a reconnaissance mission, tasked with observing Houthi convoys 50 nautical miles northeast of Hodeidah. Unlike the F-16, the Reaper is not a fighter. It is a persistent eye in the sky, a hunter-killer designed for long endurance. As it orbits, using its powerful sensors to peer at the ground below, the same Houthi battery, undeterred, fires yet another SA-6. This time, the target is the slower, far less maneuverable drone. This should be a much easier kill, but the Reaper is not defenseless. Its Pandora electronic support system and its ALR-69 radar warning receiver immediately detect the radar emission, scanning a radius of over 120 miles. Within 8 seconds of detection, the drone's own countermeasures dispenser, the ALE-47, automatically triggers. It launches a sequence of 8 brilliant flares in just 4 seconds, creating an infrared decoy. Simultaneously, the drone's operator initiates a rapid climb, pushing the Reaper above 15,000 feet to place it at the edge of the missile's effective engagement envelope. A cloud of chaff blossoms behind it, expanding over several hundred meters to spoof the missile's radar seeker. The SA-6, aimed at a ghost, detonates prematurely. The drone survives. Upon its return to base, however, technicians make a sobering discovery. The Reaper's right wing is peppered with hundreds of small holes. It's evidence of shrapnel from the SA-6's proximity-fused warhead, which is designed to explode near a target and spray it with thousands of tiny steel ball bearings. The damage is a tangible reminder that even with advanced protection, the Reaper is not invulnerable. It flew through a cloud of lethal steel and was lucky to return, but the mission continues. After repairs, the drone is declared operational again just a short time later, ready to return to the fight. Its resilience is a testament to its robust design. These two attack zone on a high-performance fighter, the other on a surveillance drone mark a significant escalation. It is the first time Houthi forces have directly and deliberately fired on American aircraft in this conflict. The reaction from Washington and CENTCOM is immediate and furious. The White House condemns the incident as a blatant act of aggression. A red line has been crossed. The president issues a clear directive. Deliver a swift and decisive response. Attacks on U.S. forces will not be tolerated. And the gears of American military power begin to turn. Less than 8 hours after the initial attack on the F-16, the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, USS Spruance, receives its orders. It adjusts course and steams towards the Yemeni coast. On board, in the ship's Combat Information Center, the fire control officers are given a surprising directive. They are to bypass the ship's standard land attack weapon, the Tomahawk cruise missile. Instead, they will ready 2 RIM 174 Standard Missile 6S, or SM-6. The SM-6 is primarily designed as an air defense weapon, a shield to shoot down enemy aircraft and missiles. But tonight, it will be used as a spear. In its secondary surface attack mode, the SM-6 can deliver its warhead at speeds of Mach 3.5, making it nearly impossible to intercept. The combat cell plots a complex trajectory for the missiles, programming dozens of waypoints to ensure a perfect strike. Around 3:45 a.m., under the cover of darkness, 2 SM-6 missiles erupt from the vertical launch system tubes on the destroyer's deck. With a hiss of high-pressure gas and the deafening roar of a rocket motor, they launch into the night. Just 6 minutes later, traveling at over 2,500 miles per hour, they slam into their target. The exact SA-6 launcher and its supporting radar that had fired on the American aircraft hours before. The installation is pulverized. The threat is neutralized, but the night is far from over. From 6 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., 4 waves of F, A-18E, F Super Hornets launch from the deck of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman. Each jet is armed with 6 AGM-154 Joint Street Andoff weapons, or JSOWs. These are not simple bombs. They're winged, GPS-guided glide weapons that can strike targets from 80 miles away. Between each wave of airstrikes, the destroyer USS Gravely launches 6 Tomahawk missiles, targeting hardened Houthi positions that survived the initial onslaught. It is a relentless, coordinated, multi-domain assault. The final tally of the operation is staggering. 14 C-802 anti-ship cruise missiles destroyed on the ground. 3 additional SA-6 launchers annihilated. And 23 other anti-ship missiles rendered useless. The strike deals a severe blow to the Houthi air defense network. It demonstrates the lethal synergy of air and sea power, the reach of American forces, and the political will to retaliate without hesitation. For now, the United States has sent a clear message. Any attack on our forces will bring about an implacable and overwhelming response. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. See you next time.